Welcome, everybody. If you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the right place. My name is Derrick Forston.
And I'm Shanya Forston.
And again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, you guys are in the absolute right place. If you love community, if you love helping people, welcome to our channel. So again, this channel is called Forston Consultants. It's all about real estate, helping people, and the love of God all mixed into one. And my favorite way to say it is that we take the love of God and real estate and put it in a blender and we mix it all up and we pour it all over our respective cities.
Correct.
So thank y'all so much for being here tonight. My name is also Mr. ILF. Shay and I are actually the trademark owners of the independent living facility model. So we want you guys to know that, right? So don't be tricked and fooled by no outside people, right? Make sure you learn it from the best.
Right.
And as you guys can see, tonight's topic is very straightforward, right? I'm gonna be discussing a $40,000 lawsuit Shay and I went through, and I'm gonna take all credit for it. I ain't gonna drag Shay into it, but it was a $40,000 lawsuit that I went through. And quite frankly, now as a coach on the other side of this, I see a lot of beginners make the same mistakes that I did. So we're gonna cover tonight. How do you guys avoid a $40,000 lawsuit, and how can you make $40,000 a month? I don't want that 40 grand to be coming from your pocket. So once again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, and you're not concerned with getting a license, you're in the right place. Group homes and IDDs require a license, state oversight. Prime example, I'm in Florida. So there's something that's called ACA, Agency for Healthcare Administration, blah, blah, blah. Those are the people that are in charge of the Medicaid and Medicaid dollars. We don't even deal with that. One more time, independent living facilities is just simply an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So let me know in the chat, are you guys new to us? Are you guys old timers and you're always here? Let me know in the chat. And then if you're anywhere to where you can only just hear me, like my TikTok people, TikTok can only just hear me and they see like one bed on the screen.
Right.
I'm putting in the chat right now where my TikTok family can follow us at. So if you're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of those things are great because we simulcast. But I would love it if you came to the YouTube channel. That's where everybody finds us at. That way I can also see your questions. So if you're new to me, let me know in the chat. And everybody put in the chat, where are you located?
Exactly.
I'm going to give it over to Shay, and I'm going to be the first to put mine in the chat. Shay and I are in Orlando, Florida, and we're super excited because our coaching is actually in 40 states. And I had my team finally put it on a map. So we kind of highlight it, and I'm going to talk about where are we not. So I want to see you guys put in the chat, where are you located? We're in Orlando, Florida. And again, guys, you can stay on TikTok, but I'll admit I would love if the TikTok people could come over to the YouTube channel. And I'm putting it in the chat right now where you guys can find us at. Shay, tell the people again, just briefly, who you are, what you do, and what population do you serve, Shay?
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Shanya Forston, co-founder of Forston Consultants and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation. So that is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and I utilize the ILF, Independent Living Facility model, as one of my programs. And that is housing women that have been through all sorts of, traumatic events, life circumstances that have caused them to be either homeless or on the verge of homelessness. And again, I do that through a 501c3. The model is exactly the same as Derrick and myself as we teach you how to do it. Nothing differentiates. I'm not different in any way in regards to the housing structure, but I am different because of the entity type, right? I'm a nonprofit, 501c3, so I'm governed a little bit different. The organization is governed. It's not owned, where Derrick and myself own all of our other, I keep saying myself. Derrick and I
own that thing, baby.
I don't even know like why myself. I'm not by myself. I'm saying Derrick and I, forgive me, bad grammar. I own our other entities, but when it comes to the Angela Denise Foundation, we don't own it. We literally, I literally founded the organization, and I get the opportunity to just kind of steward it and shepherd it and make sure that it's doing and making the impact in the community. But technically, Derrick, there's no significant difference, right? I'm still required to have all of the key components that you have as an ILF owner to avoid the ILF fiasco.
That's it.
Which is the lawsuits and all of those bumps and things that we faced in the past. So other than that, like I said, it's just having that board of directors, having, other accountability partners on this road to maintaining and managing the day-to-day activities of the nonprofit. So yeah.
Good stuff. So, guys, again, you're in the right place, whether you want to do this from the LLC standpoint, for profit or nonprofit, you're covered because Shay and I do this together. And just in case if you're wondering, she's not just some special guest. She's not like my girlfriend or my boo thing. I married this woman. So Shay and I do this together, guys. And we're
Yeah.
just super excited every time that we get a chance to share it with you all. So if you just missed it, we also explained that we're the trademark holders of the independent living facility model. So why
Correct.
try to learn it from anybody else? So one more question. I'm going to give some more announcements, and I'm going to jump right into why in the world I got into a $40,000 lawsuit. How could I have avoided that, and how you now don't make that mistake, because I'm your new big brother. So thank y'all for telling me where you guys are located. Now tell me who's new to us. I
Yeah.
love to shout out brand new people, and anybody that's on the TikTok channel. I want you guys to come over and let me know that you came from TikTok. Say, Derrick, I came from TikTok, bro. But put in the chat if you're new to us. I never want to just take for granted that everybody knows who we are and what we do. And I just put into the TikTok chat back to back to back where we're located. Soon as you come over, tell me where you came from, and tell me that you came from TikTok. Now watch this. If I don't see anybody that's new to us, I'm gonna jump right into the material.
Correct.
But if we got some new people, again, I always give a brief intro, right? But if this is just family tonight, and there go one person, that's all I need. So who's that? Corliss, and I'm probably saying it wrong. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. New and came from TikTok. Love that.
Yeah. So let's
Somebody's
do a
from
brief,
Northern
yeah.
Virginia. Love that. So very quickly, just so that you all understand where the concept came from, that I'm no genius that just woke up and just said, hey, you know what? I'm going to do this, and we're going to do it like this. To make a long story short, guys, I used to be a social worker, right?
Correct.
And I dreamed of doing this just like most of y'all. Put a number 7 in the chat if you've dreamed to house the homeless and the displaced, and you thought it had to be a group home.
Yeah.
We don't do group homes, so I'm going to say that first. There's nothing wrong with group homes, and they have their place, but we do the independent living facility model, which is a model that doesn't require a license. You don't have to own the property. And most importantly, the population that we serve don't need nothing from me other than me providing a safe roof over their head.
Right.
In a group home, I got to provide services. And if I'm not licensed or structured the right way, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to run into a lawsuit, and I'm going to end up on the Channel 7 News.
And you're going to get shut down. So let's not avoid that piece, right? That is one of the biggest things. And you can face some legal issues behind that as well. So you want to make sure that you're operating in the right vein, and that's what you did when we founded the independent living facility model, and even the education of it. Yep. So I'm going to ask you some questions real quick.
Let's do it.
Because you're introducing everyone to this, I want them to know and have a better gauge on your background, Derrick, in regards to the role you played in your role as a social worker. So what was your job title? And I was about to say your job topic. What was your job title? And what were your primary job roles?
So my official title that was on my check, right, that I got paid every week, said discharge planner. Now, just to give you a little bit of background, I had a bachelor's degree in human services. But at the hospital I worked at, you wasn't allowed to be called a social worker unless you had a master's degree. But make no mistake about it, I was a social worker. I just couldn't carry the title because my hospital that I was at was nonprofit, and the way they paid you according to your title, that's what they could call you. Right. That don't matter. My job was that when people came into my mental health hospital with nowhere to go, which was most of them, some of them had family, friends to go back to, a boo thing or a boyfriend, but most of them had nowhere to go. We also dealt with a lot of population, Shay, that they lied about certain things just to come into the hospital because they knew they would meet a social worker like me.
Correct.
And my job was to find them placement. Does that make sense so far, everybody? So every day, my hospital was influxed with a bunch of people, sometimes liars that just needed a place to live and said, you know what, I want to hurt myself today. And they walked into the hospital and said, Derrick, I wasn't gonna hurt myself, bro. I just knew that if I came in here, y'all
I
was gonna
get
find
3
me a
hots
place
and
to
a
live.
cot, right?
Y'all was gonna feed me and get me back on my meds. Then there was the other 80% of people, because you got 20% of people do that.
Yeah.
The other 80% truly are going through a mental meltdown or breakthrough or whatever you want to call it, right? They're going through something mentally, and they need to be what we call in Florida Baker acted, or where y'all may call it involuntarily placed into a mental health hospital.
Mhm.
Shay, my job was to give them resources, connect them back to family if they had it, and if they didn't, where can I send them to live?
Yeah.
Whether that was the shelter, if they was broke and had no money, or
Mhm.
to a housing program if they got what we call SSI and SSDI. Makes sense so far, everybody?
Yeah.
Put number 3 in the chat if so far that makes sense and I ain't lost you. Because Shay just said, Derrick, what was your job? When people came in, I gave them resources and a place to live. And sometimes, Shay, I only had 3 days to do this.
Yeah.
Because under an involuntary placement, sometimes I only got 3 days, which is 72 hours to find them housing.
So with that, right? And I just want to give clarity to the reason why we've gotten to this space. And it was all because of the role you played and the conditions you kind of were able to see after going to see them. It wasn't like you had the that you had access originally. Like they didn't have to come through a process where in order to be on your discharge list of housing providers that they had to go through a walkthrough, they had to be vetted and all of that stuff. So talk a little bit about that before we talk about tonight's topic. Like, what was the process for you as a discharge planner, and what that looked like from getting the discharge order or knowing that the discharge date was coming forth? What was your process in getting those individuals placed?
The process was like when they first came in, I was trained from day one to immediately figure out if they had family, or do I give them 2 bus passes to the homeless shelter, or do I connect them with housing if they had the income? So if you're asking it in that way, my planning started immediately kind of that morning when I came in.
Right.
There was paperwork that showed me how many people came in overnight. So prime example, if I leave work at 5 o'clock, Shay, when I came in, I could see everybody that came in at 5:01 all the way to the time to where I came to work. Hopefully that makes sense. Right. And then I was trained to immediately start the process of finding resources, family, or a place to live. Because now the doctor's job is to prescribe medication. The nurse's job is to give it and to make sure he's compliant. Right. My job was to find the housing and resources. So in that hospital, Shay, we played kind of like a basketball team. I was the point guard, if you will. The lowest paid person, but ran the show. And that's not being funny. If you work in human services or any place of a hospital, you know that the people that get paid the lowest usually do most of the work.
Yeah.
You couldn't speak to my doctor. You or your mama or your kid couldn't talk to my doctor. Everything went through me as the social worker. I was his mouthpiece. So everything went through me. That's why I tell people, like, I ran my place. And not because I was paid to do it. It's just because the job we had.
The role.
But boy, when that light bulb came on, Shay, to be the guy on the other side of the fence, that's what kind of lit that spark under me. But just to answer your question again, that was that process. They came in. I immediately found out, do they got family? Do I give him 2 bus passes in 3 days to go to the shelter? Or does he actually have income? Shay, everybody that come through the door and that's going to call y'all phone when you start this, everybody don't have income. That's why we teach you guys that on December the 10th on our ILF complimentary masterclass, I'm going to teach you guys in the front part of that assessment. Don't waste 35 minutes talking to somebody before you find out, sir, what is your income? What's the source of it? How you get it and when do it come?
That's good.
Dummy, me in the beginning, I used to talk to a guy for 35 minutes and then say, well, sir, what's your income? And then he said, Derrick, I ain't got no money. My social worker told me to call you because y'all help people.
Right. So I love that because what you're showing me and what you're telling what you're telling us is literally how you were able to create the process for intake within the ILF model was based on the process you had to, kind of walk through as the discharge planner. So you helped make the conscious decision of placement by asking the appropriate questions. And that's something that we talk about a lot. Most people want to know, how do I get the residents? How do I get the residents? That's the easy part. Again, connecting with people that have this role, this position, this title in all healthcare, in all healthcare, not just mental health, behavioral health, in medical health, in re-entry programs, in the jails, the prisons, all of those things, all of those places matter because everybody ultimately needs housing. So Derrick, with that being said, we know that you started this because of the things you saw on a daily basis, the actual filth and grime that people were residing in, and that you literally were discharging them to without knowledge, knowing
Yeah.
that this was what was happening.
Yeah.
What was happening. So with that, when you entered into this space, my question for you is, how did you position yourself to be different from what you saw?
I'll be honest, Shay, it wasn't hard because of what I saw, which I'm getting ready to show all the new people.
Mm-hmm.
Can 10 of y'all type in the chat new if you're completely new to us? Because I'm actually getting ready to show you guys now. I'm going to bring my slides up and I'm going to answer what Shay is talking about. How did I position myself to be different from everybody else? And Shay, it's kind of like what I say all the time. It's not hard to be different when most people are doing this so wrong. One more time, TikTok family, you guys can only see that one picture. Come over to the Forston Consultants YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I just put it in the chat, back to back to back. But watch this, y'all. As this social worker on this screen praying that God change my life and help me financially, I was making $29,000 a year right here. 28, 29,000. My highest year was like 31 grand. That was a bunch of overtime.
That you probably got in trouble for.
Boy, a bunch of overtime. I had to pay most of it back to Uncle Sam probably.
Oh, geez.
And guys, most of y'all that know my story, bear with me 2 minutes because my new people have no clue how all of this started. Here is me as that social worker begging God to change my life. But when I saw the conditions, what you see on this screen, I couldn't believe it. Because as I'm making 28 grand a year, God allowed me to see a lady that was making $41,000 a month doing what I'm showing y'all tonight.
Correct.
Miss Joy, can you imagine housing people in rats and roaches making 41 grand a month? I hope you can't. But can all of y'all imagine making 41 grand a month, changing the lives of people through what we call affordable housing?
Yeah.
Can y'all see these pictures? Because I'm not very techy. 2 of y'all tell me that you can see these pictures. Because I don't want to think I'm showing y'all something and you can't see it. See that burnt up kitchen? I say this all the time, so I sound like a broken record. But for my new people, guys, this looks like a property that needs to be fixed and flipped.
Yeah. Guys,
people are living in this place. Now, if you're on TikTok, you have no clue what I'm talking about because you're not on YouTube. Can y'all see these beds on the ground, my YouTube people? The devil is a liar that we're going to ask God to change our life and do it like this. So Shay just asked me, how was I different? How was I going to set myself to be different? Guys, it ain't hard to be different from this.
Right, yeah.
Nobody telling me in the chat that they can see nothing. YouTube family, can y'all see this bed on the ground? Can you see the bed that's on cinder blocks? Or Shay, do I not have
no, you're
this
good.
thing pulled up?
Keep going. Just keep going.
So one more time, guys, this is the lady that I saw. TikTok going crazy because they have no clue what I'm talking about.
They need to come over to YouTube.
Shay, help me in TikTok because it's getting bigger. TikTok, we're on YouTube. Please come to YouTube. I put it in the chat back to back. I'm doing it again right now. TikTok, come to Forston Consultants.
Some of them are moving at the speed of instruction.
And let me know that you came from TikTok. But watch this, y'all. The lady that I saw making 41 grand a month, and y'all, I'll admit, I built my whole soapbox on this story.
Yeah.
I tell this story everywhere I go for the last 9 years. Because if you just think I'm a genius and I thought of this myself, you won't get it. But if I show you that I barely graduated high school, Shay tricked me to go to college, and I've been poor though for most of my life until God gave me this ministry, this would change everything for me, y'all. But I saw a lady making 41 grand a month, and only me and Corliss can see this picture. And I often tell people, Corliss, if you ain't got your glasses on tonight, those are cinder blocks that are actually holding that bed up. Put a number 6 in the chat if that's sad to you, that you know that somebody can make 41 grand a month but mistreat God's people like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Please put in the chat, because again, here go me as your new big brother. I told you I'm y'all brother now. Praying that God changed my life. This is how I used to go to work, y'all. Sometimes in a blazer, sometimes just in a regular button-up shirt. But forget about that. When I saw the rats and the roaches, and that girl told me this, y'all. She says, Derrick, I'll never teach you how to do this. You keep sending me those people.
Right.
And y'all, that's before I actually saw the inside of it. So one day I just randomly took on a Saturday and I said, you know what? I'm going to go and see what it looked like, because nobody want to teach me.
Yeah.
Lucky for all of y'all, I got a big mouth. I coach this 7 days a week on YouTube. You can't fail if you know me.
Yeah.
We got one-on-one coaching. We got DIY coaching. And if you don't want to invest in yourself and buy any of that, I coach 7 days for free. Bring all your questions right here.
And don't forget, we got an event
December the 10th,
next week.
I'm having an ILF masterclass. And that's going to be for over 3 hours of me just pouring into y'all. I'll be here tonight for another 30 minutes and I'm gone. But December the 10th, and if Jennifer, you can drop that in the chat, December the 10th, and I'll admit, guys, it's for the ILF Academy. It's our free Facebook group. Join it. And I splattered the link all over that group. And all you got to do is be a part of the ILF Academy. It's called the ILF Academy, and it's a free Facebook group. Sign up. Guys, the last one we had, I taught for 3 hours and 52 minutes. Complimentary, no travel required.
Yeah.
And usually when I do one of these, they're at least $9.97. Guys, it's complimentary because I want to bless the socks off of your feet this year. Somebody been praying for something just like this, but people have been hiding it from you. Put a praying hand emojis in the chat, or put the word pray if you've been praying for something just like this, but people have been gatekeeping it. Can y'all see this nasty stuff? Because nobody would teach it to me, Miss Rhonda. The Johnson family, I begged that lady to teach me. She said, Derrick, I'll never teach you this. She said, but Derrick, I will tell you this one thing, bro, because you seem real intrigued. I said, yeah. She said, Derrick, I don't own these properties. And Derrick, I don't have a license. I said, when she said that part about not having a license, Siobhan almost swallowed my tongue when she said that. You don't have a license, so there I go on a goose hunt to find out if I can really do this without needing a license.
Yeah.
But again, the devil is a liar that we're going to put people on the floor and have rats and roaches running through this place. And because I knew y'all weren't going to believe me, I took pictures of it. So Miss Joy, I knew the day when I found this and I was going to share it with other people, I said, they're not going to believe me. Especially when I tell them about the lady that was sleeping in front of the kitchen stove. Yeah. Guys, this picture right here, and I'm done with it because I can talk about this for 2 hours. When I walk through one of these houses of this lady who don't own the property and there is no license for an independent living facility, and I'll admit, she didn't even call it that. She called them, she just said, I rent rooms to people.
Yeah.
We took it upon ourselves to brand it, trademark it, and do it the right way.
Yeah.
So watch this. I saw a lady, and watch me be honest with y'all. Guess who sent this lady to this place that was sleeping on the kitchen floor? Your big brother, the social worker. But before you think I'm a bad guy, guys, I didn't know it.
Yeah.
This is before she says, Derrick, I'll never teach you this. This before I knew had the addresses to go. I walked through a place. I said, Sarah, I'm gonna just call her Sarah. Sarah, what are you doing here? Sarah looked at me and said, Derrick, bro, you sent me here like 3 days ago. Are you serious?
Yeah.
And the first thing I noticed, y'all, it was like 14 people in a 3-bed, 2-bath, and one of the bedrooms had a lock on the door.
Yep. So
now we're talking about a 2-bed, 2-bath with 14 people. The devil is a liar. Sarah, I said, Sarah, well, so many people here, where do you sleep at? Show me your accommodations. I wanted to see what I sent Sarah, Mr. Social Worker. Sarah walked me in the kitchen, y'all. I'm thinking she finna go grab a bottle of water or something to drink. That girl showed me in front of the kitchen stove. She had about a 3-inch mat about 3 feet long, and that's where she slept at. As roaches are running in and out of that bottom drawer where a lot of y'all had y'all turkey pans at, your dressing pan, your peach cobbler pans at, your muffin pan, roaches were running in and out of that drawer. And that lady said, Derrick, this is where I sleep at. Now watch this, because my new people don't know this. That didn't break my heart as much as, watch this, because that was heartbreaking. Y'all Y'all should have seen me. I was a mess in this place. Bottom lip shaking, eyes watering, about to cry. But the part that broke my heart the most, and I'm about to give it over to Shay, the part that broke me the most, y'all, she says, Derrick, Elise ain't outside and homeless on the street. Y'all, she wasn't even mad about it. She was just grateful to have a place to live. The devil is a liar. And most of us praying that God change our life through real estate and helping people. Put a number 9 in the chat if you think everything I just talked about is crazy. Of how she did it and the amount of money she made. And if I don't see at least 10 number 9s, I'm gonna shut this whole live down, because that means I'm in a room full of the wrong people.
They coming in.
Watch this. I'm no pastor, I'm no bishop, and I'm no priest. But if you love God, love people, and love real estate, which is what we stand for, guys, this is an absolute no-brainer. But one more time, the devil is a liar that we do it the wrong way and expect that God bless our life.
Exactly.
So I'm done, and I take 2 hours to tell that one story because it's heartbreaking in one sense, but there's a big teaching moment that comes from it. Because we also gonna show you guys how do we do it and what it should look like. Now, Shay, I'm done, and you take over, go any direction you
I
want
want
to.
you to talk about. So the topic tonight is what I learned from the $40,000 lawsuit.
That's where we're going next.
So I want you to surmise everything that you just talked about. You know, you saw what you saw. You got into a position to get started. And tell them, like, what did that look like for you, the getting started part of it?
But even before we do that, let's get a quick word from David and Dennis, my 2 twin brothers. Hey, Dennis, I got a question about just some general information, right? If I need to know just some general stuff, like how to get started, like do I need zoning where I live at? There's a lot of things that I'm just getting into it. So where is my first starting point if I was to ask you? David, man, you're such a character. And what's up with this get up you got on today with the hat and stuff? Anyway, the first step to getting started, big bro, is you texting the phrase, just this one word, text info, that's INFO, to the phone number 407-326-0086. Don't text it in the chat. Don't comment below. Don't send it to me. But just text the word info to 407-326-0086. Because, big bro, that's going to give you our introductory webinar to show you exactly what is an ILF, how do you get started, and what all of these thoughts that are in your head. That webinar is going to answer most of your questions. Does that make sense? So one more time, you just text info, INFO, to the phone number 407-326-0086. And after you watch it, my team actually going to give you a call to answer all your questions. And then I still want you to come to YouTube 7 days a week at 7 p.m. Eastern to soak up all of this information. All right, we are back, and you heard it from my 2 brothers. So David and Dennis, just remember, y'all, Dennis is real sharp, and he's on it. He went to the ILF Academy, the university. David, y'all pray for him. He's an absolute knucklehead, and he's trying to get it. So let's get back to it, Shay. So let's jump into your questions, and let's jump into this $40,000 lawsuit that I went through so that they don't have to.
So before we get to the $40,000 lawsuit, I want you to talk about your gate of entry to this, right? What were the obstacles you faced first and foremost in getting started?
Not having no money, being a poor social worker, robbing Peter to pay Paul, and also trusting other people to pour into me and invest in me. So some of you guys that say, well, Derrick, where I'm going to get the money from? Is there any grants out there? Ain't no grant they're going to give you no money to start this. Right? So most of y'all will lean on business credit, personal credit, your personal savings, or like me, I had a bunch of people that believed in this vision. So watch this. Starting tonight, speak these things that be not as though they were. Remember, I'm not a pastor or a bishop, but I love God. I'm going to quote a lot of his stuff, and I'm going to give you guidance from God. So I spoke this thing so much, Shay. One of the nurses that I worked with at that place, she was like, Derrick, you know what? You'll be good at this. You got a pretty cool personality. You do a great job here. You can probably do this on your own. That lady gave me $10,000. Complete stranger in terms of just people, but I worked with her. So she saw my work ethic. She saw my personality on a daily basis. And because I talked about it so much, that's how most of y'all found me tonight, running my big mouth, because I'm good at that. God has blessed me with this gift to be able to explain stuff to people to where you can explain it. So Shay, she believed
Yeah.
in me, and that's what was one of the big. My mom, Shay, you gave me money. Everybody who believed
Yeah.
in me, my mom, that nurse, and Shay, because y'all, for my new people, y'all don't know this. Shay had a real good job, paid her a bunch of money. We snatched her from corporate America when this thing got busy.
Correct.
So Shay was able to pour into my dream, which she can speak on from a whole nother level of being a wife, being a partner. That's kind of what our new YouTube channel is about. It's called Married to the Mission. Married to the Mission, where we talk about business, love, and legacy. Correct. And how we work together, don't kill each other. Right? So if you're business partners, whether you married or the boo thing, or you two brothers, subscribe to Married to the Mission, which is another channel. Anyway, that's how I got into it, Shay, but also a bunch of mistakes. I didn't make the mistakes like the lady that started this in Rats and Roaches. I made mistakes because of the lack of knowledge and understanding. No coach, no guidance. Y'all lucky. There was no loudmouth on YouTube back when I started 9 years ago.
I want to say this too, because as the wife that kind of traversed this journey with you, but not from the inside, I wasn't in the day-to-day. I was just, helping plan certain things and kind of stepped away. I saw the tenacity, that consistency to keep going after it, even when you were told no, even when you saw that there were obstacles. You made a way to find a way through it because you knew that this is what you was called to do. So I just want to implore you all that are listening. A lot of times what Derrick said just now is a lot of people don't like to invest in themselves. When Derrick first started, he wanted to invest in himself, but there was nobody that he could rightfully call on to invest to invest in.
I did invest in this one program, and they kind of treat me. And some of y'all have been through that stuff, right?
Yeah,
but
you did.
it still led to certain stuff. So that has to remove. So I'll say it this way: remove the fear of somebody, quote unquote, taking advantage of you.
Because
if you smart enough, you can pull something from anything and everybody. And I hate to kind of say it that way because I know that we are the experts at it. But if I buy some course that I think is kind of not so great, my job is to find one or two things within that course that I can still take and grind it and work it. So don't let that stop you. And most of y'all, your prayer been answered tonight. Most of y'all been praying for this. I'm your new big brother now, so that search is over. But like Shay said, don't be afraid to invest in yourself, because if you don't invest in yourself, how can you have the audacity almost to want somebody else's time to invest in you?
I think that's so good. But we'll save that for a whole nother conversation. We're going to talk about that, investing in yourself. Matter of fact, Derrick, I am actually doing 29 days to the happy new biz year, and that is 29-day countdown of all of the things that we do on an annual basis at this point of the year to prep for 2026. And tomorrow is consistency, branding, and consistency. So if you guys do not follow me on TikTok at Shanyasha. Derrick, you put that in the chat. So it's spelled SHONYASHA. You can follow me on TikTok, on Facebook, Instagram, all the same name, only one with it. But follow me, and as you'll see what the things that we implement on a day-to-day basis to prepare for the new year as a entrepreneur, as a business owner. But what I wanted to also ask with that, Derrick, is, okay, so there was nobody for you to learn from or to glean from. There was, of course, you did get a somewhat of a, I remember it. I remember who you're talking about too. The one that was living in the ILF. So, right. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
That's probably 10, 11 years ago now, man. I'm like most of y'all, man, just trying to get it and searching every avenue. And I'll admit, right, my route was very different. God had a different plan for me. God's plan for most of y'all was to find us. My plan, God said, Derrick, I'm going to send you through the bumps, the bruises, the hula hoops, and the lawsuits, and the Channel 8 news. But Derrick, when you and I get it just right and we get it perfect, your job, Derrick, is to go around the world and teach it. And that's what I do. That's why our YouTube channel is 7 days a week. So I'm even for the guy that said, Derrick, in other words, I'm not going to invest in myself. I don't want to buy your course. Most coaches hate y'all that say that. I'll admit it's scratching my skin too, but I got something for you too. So I'm one of them coaches. I got something for everybody. So you can never just say, I'm trying to sell you a course. The devil is a lie. Because first of all, if you don't got the right attitude and God didn't call you to it, I don't want to coach you. But if you feel like God has called you to this and you got the right attitude and you ready to go and invested in yourself, you are the absolute person we're looking for. Make sense, everybody?
Right. So with that being said, right? Talk about some of the struggles you had outside of not having a coach or guidance.
Being told no. Being told me it was impossible. My city, I live in Orlando, Florida. Derrick, you can't do this here. You might need a license. And now the same city I live in, they beg for it. So a lot of you guys have heard that you can't do this model. The devil is a liar. As long as your clients are independent and you do it the right way and not in filth and squalor, that's what's going to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
So here go 3 things if you taking notes tonight. We do not give out medications. That's going to end. You're going to end up in jail doing that. If you ain't got the proper license and you ain't set up correctly.
Correct.
We do not transport people. I do not have a transportation company yet. It's coming.
But you heard that yet.
And it won't be Medicaid and Medicare. But right now we are not driving these people around. Don't do that. That's a liability to you. What if you get into an accident? Some jerk hit you. Not that you hit somebody because you driving bad. Some idiot bumped you in the back. But because you was driving that tenant around, if he got a good lawyer, they're going to sue that person and your insurance. Here go your 3rd one. And we're not feeding people. Guys, those 3 things right there is what allows us to run an independent living facility without a license, without staff. Most of my clients believe that they're chefs anyway. Why am I in the way? So one more time for the people that's taking notes, we do not offer transportation. We do not feed these people, and I am not giving out medications pretending to be a dadgum nurse. That is not what I do.
Okay.
Shay, so back on you.
So with that, let's talk about it. Let's hit the topic nail on the head.
Let's do it.
Right? Because you talked about some of the obstacles you faced. Let's talk about the lawsuits.
But let's hear from David and Dennis one more time.
Oh,
we'll be right back.
Knuckleheads.
Hey, Dennis, when is the next time you guys going to have some kind of event where I can learn more about this ILF? David, that's actually a great question. And lucky for you, December the 10th is our next class, actually. And I'm calling it the ILF Masterclass. And really, I'm only doing this for the ILF Academy. So, David, if you're not a part of the ILF Academy, make sure you join it because it's free and there's no travel because it's all online. So I'm going to drop a link below, but I'm also going to guide you to how to do it. So make sure you go to the ILF Academy, which is our free Facebook group, and I splattered it all over that group so you can't miss it. So that's pretty cool in how you guys are going to have this masterclass, but you still go live 7 days a week on your YouTube channel. I think that's pretty cool. David, as you know, there's nobody that teaches this independent living facility model like us, right? We go live 7 days a week on our YouTube channel at 7 p.m., and then we have an ILF Masterclass coming up December the 10th. And don't forget, David, we are also the trademark owners of the independent living facility model. We trademarked it, we made it up, and we're the ones to teach it. So don't be fooled by these other fake people that you see pretending to teach it.
All right, we are back. Big shout out to David and Dennis. I love those guys, and y'all pray for David. He is an absolute knucklehead. But anyway, let's jump right into it, guys. So this is what I learned from the $40,000 lawsuit. I'm also going to be talking about this deeply on December the 10th in our masterclass. So if you haven't signed up for that, please join the free Facebook group entitled The ILF Academy.
And then they can also text info.
ILF Academy. And that's where you'll see it splattered all over. But also, watch this. If you just text the word info, just one word, INFO, to this phone number, 407-326-0086. And it's scrolling below on YouTube. So my YouTube people, that number that's scrolling below, if you text info to that number, it'll not only give you our introductory webinar, it's also going to give you the link to sign up for the complimentary webinar, right? The masterclass. And that's on December the 10th. It's free, no travel required, and I'm going to be coaching for over 3 hours easily. The last one went from 3 hours and 52 minutes.
It sure did.
Nothing you will buy will be better than this. Trust me, or call me a liar when it's over, okay? Most of y'all get more tonight than you've got for stuff you've paid. And if that's true so far, give me a thumbs up. Watch this. Lawsuit. Rookie me didn't
Yeah.
get an LLC or any kind of entity. So for all of you all that ask, well, Derrick, should I do this under a business or should I just get started? Let me correct you right now, because this is what led me to the lawsuit, y'all. No LLC, I just got started.
Yeah.
Rookie me was so ready to leave my job, so ready to change my life, so ready to make a bunch of money and help people. I skipped some of the most important things, which is number one, turning myself into a business. So
Yep.
any webinar or coaching you've ever seen me on, I guarantee you the first step that I always said, that if your name is James Jones, not in this business, it ain't. It's J&J Solutions.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
Jones Enterprise. And watch me go a step further. Rookie me, I use the word housing in my name. Don't do that. So today, my name is Second Chance Housing. And this is extra coaching. This has nothing to do with my two things that I'm going to tell you about right now. You want to use things like solutions, and write this in the chat. 5 of y'all help me because other people are listening. 5 of y'all follow me right now.
Mm-hmm.
You should end the name with like solutions, enterprise, foundation,
Yeah.
collective, initiative. I can give you 1,000 more, but those are good. One more time: solutions, enterprise, consultants,
Mm-hmm.
collective, foundation.
Yeah.
Or you could choose something like Walmart, generic, or Amazon, generic,
Very
or
generic.
JC Penney, generic. See how there's no ending on those? But don't be like your brother. Big mistake by me. And watch me explain it too. The social worker could care less what you call this program. When I talk about this is for banking purposes, because the bank hates real estate. Real estate at the bank is a high-risk industry. So when I send y'all to the bank under my coaching, I don't want you to have the word housing or living or home nowhere in your name, because you're going to be more bankable, more fundable. You can get the bag. I hope that makes sense. Back over to the big mistake: no LLC, and the biggest one, no insurance.
Yeah.
Watch me tell you this as your new big brother, y'all. If you forget everything I said today, do not operate one of these or any business without a general liability policy. Please,
Mm-hmm.
can 5 of y'all write that in the chat, because that's ultimately what led to my $40,000 lawsuit and the Channel 8 News. Because somebody wanted to take advantage of me, because all of y'all trying to do great work, but the devil is busy, as my grandmother used to say. And somebody want to try to take advantage of what you were building or what you built. Y'all, I didn't have a whole lot build compared to today when that happened to me. So $40,000, like, oh my God. None of y'all,
Right.
under the sound of my voice, I want you to go through that. Somebody banging and bamming on your front door where you live at. Another mistake that I made.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use your home address on your documents when you get in your LLC. I don't want nobody coming to knock on your door. We're going to get a business address. I'm going to cover all of this on December the 10th. Give me a thumbs up right now if you're receiving better coaching than you paid for. Because these are the things that is also in books that I've written, but I'm going to give it to you now. Get a general liability policy. Get some kind of entity, whether that's an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, up to you and your family lawyer and your accountant. I don't get into that of what you should be. But if they let me get into it, I say get an LLC because it's quick, fast, and affordable.
But just depends
Shay
on
is
how
a
do you want to be
nonprofit.
taxed.
She's going to talk about that on the 10th.
It's all about
How do you
taxation.
want to be taxed? How do
It's
you
all
want to
about
do
taxation,
business?
guys.
Because one thing that I did not like about a nonprofit is that I don't control the money. I didn't like that. They can't spend the money that come into her account the way I can.
Right.
If I make money today, I go to mall and blow it or set it on fire, and nobody says nothing. Shay is a nonprofit. She built a board, and as a nonprofit, you don't own it. Ooh, this is some good coaching. We're going to cover all of that.
Yeah.
So the two biggest mistakes, if you said, well, Derrick, Big Mouth, what are the two dumbest things you did ever while doing this? Not getting an entity and not getting the proper insurance.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
because when somebody want to sue you now, what covers that?
You.
If you don't got no insurance, it's you out of your pocket.
Every dollar that you
If you got an insurance policy, guess what covers that?
the insurance policy.
Your Johnny Cochran lawyer team, because the insurance gonna cover all your legal fees and your team to go to the court while you sit at home and kick your feet up.
And wait, yeah.
I done been on both sides of this. The bad side and the side that said, well, Derrick, we'll handle it. You just keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. So
Shay,
I want you to stop there for a second, right? Because you talked about one lawsuit. And what people don't realize is, this is afforded us two very interesting lawsuits. And one of which is, again, in setup and structure that Derrick talked about. The second one of which is about knowing how to effectively make sure you're acquiring the house appropriately, acquiring the residence, whether you're renting or purchasing or owning. You want to make sure that you do that correctly, because in one of these instances, it was a tenant issue, a slip and fall at the property. The tenant, went to our dearest friends here. Actually, they're nationwide, actually. But they met them at the hospital and was ready to sue. When you are not structured the right way and you do not acquire the property the right way, you stand a chance. And I'm going to say a huge chance, about 99.5% chance of being sued, not only by the person that had the slip and fall, but also by the homeowner, the owner of the property. Because 9 times out of, I'm going to say 10 times out of 10, the resident or that person that slipped and fell, their attorney is going to go after you because you run the program. And they're also going to go after the actual housing owner, the one that owns the brick and mortar. So they are going to, in reverse, they're going to throw that reverse Uno card on you, and then they're going to sue you. So now you've got 2 lawsuits coming towards you over one incident. Yep. So you want to make sure that you're navigating this space appropriately and that you are setting yourself up for success, even when you're acquiring the property. Yep. And a lot of people don't talk about that because they've never experienced it. And what I love about, even though it hurt us, emotionally more so than anything, it was more of like this is really happening. It don't feel good. I'll tell you that right now. You don't want a process server knocking on your door a couple of weeks after you've been pulled out of your corporate America job to come and help your husband or steward the business together, and then find out like, hey, you've been served. So just be mindful that you want to make sure that you are set up and structured the appropriate way. We talk about that in depth in one-on-one coaching. We also are going to discuss that on December the 10th, how to position yourself appropriately, how to read through your lease, how to read through that lease and that document.
What needs to be changed in the lease in order to do this business, right? Some of you guys are just, and again, rookie me took the regular lease that they gave me with no amendments. It took a lawsuit for me to know what should have been in it or omitted. Guys, I break all of this down.
Correct.
Well, right. So know where you guys are going to go to get this kind of information. So again, also on our YouTube channel, if you're not subscribed already, we have over 1,100 videos, guys, like just in my tab that says live. So of course we got a bunch of videos, but there's a tab that says live. Those are these, which can go for sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours long. Guys, I got over 1,200 of those. So there is no question that you can think of that's not in the video format. But that's why we still offer one-on-one coaching, DIY, and 7 days a week. Whether you pay me a dime or not, I'm going to coach you for free.
Right.
Because that's a promise I made to God many years ago. So I'm not one of these money-hungry coaches, because whether you invest in yourself or not, that's between you and God. Most of y'all feel called to this. So it don't take me to twist your arm to get into it. Because God's going to provide the finances. He's going to provide the mindset. And that's what I'm going to talk some about on this masterclass, which I'll admit, I don't talk a lot about mindset. Most people say it's boring and it eats up a lot of time. But I'll admit, if you don't have the right mindset, this ain't going to work. If you also believe that you're going to jump into this on a Monday and be successful on a Wednesday, this ain't going to work. Just like any business, it may take time. Now, watch this and watch how I give you an example and watch how I'll explain how people under us in terms of time frame succeed. The way I coach it, I tell you to give me 6 to 9 months of your life. If you do that, most of y'all can walk away from your job after that, because most of y'all only need 2 of these to walk away from your job. 3 of these starts creating generational wealth. 4 or more, game over.
Yeah.
Your friend's going to call you rich and impactful in your community. Should I repeat that? Most of y'all can walk away from your job with 2 of these houses. 3 of them start to create what feels like, wow, generational wealth.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, y'all, because I don't hide this, I made 28 grand a year at a point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I got a few of these, I felt rich. I'm going to just be honest with you. Because I never experienced having so much money and collecting it once a month, but also weekly. Because some of my guys pay weekly. Some of them pay daily according to how they get it.
Yeah.
We're going to coach you on all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really cool, y'all, the coaching I'm giving y'all on December 10th, it's what I give my people in my one-on-one coaching, which is right now $5 grand up until December. December goes to $7,500. So the coaching you get December 10th, whether you buy any of my packages or not, it's like getting a 4-year degree in 6 months. December the 10th, I'll see you there. So the general liability policy, also having the right paperwork. Guys, my paperwork wasn't right.
Yeah.
I'm going to break all of that down.
Documentation
NACE codes,
definitely.
all of that's going down December 10th.
Yeah,
okay?
So 7 p.m. Eastern, you can sign up at Forston Consultants. I had Alex check the info. It's not, to me, it's not running.
Okay. Text the phrase more info, M-O-R-E, I-N-F-O, to the phone number scrolling below. And that's how you guys even sign up for the masterclass and the, what I'll call the prerequisite, which is the webinar. It's about 15 minutes long. Again, we get so many compliments just from our webinar. Most of y'all going to learn more just from the webinar. So when you come to the masterclass, it's going to be like, oh my God, lights out. And most of y'all, when you hear what you hear and the information and the knowledge, you should either want the one-on-one coaching or the DIY. Our DIY coaching is $997, $3 away from $1 grand. And the one-on-one coaching is $4,997, which has been on sale since January.
Yeah.
It's normally $7,500 all the time, but this whole year, up until December 31st, 12:01-ish a.m., 12 o'clock a.m., that's when it all changes. Okay? But right now, DIY, $997, one-on-one coaching, $4,997. So definitely, I want all of y'all to visit forstonconsultants.com. See what comes with those packages, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll run out of time if I try to name it all. But most importantly, guys, is that one-on-one coaching, which starts next year, don't even exist. It's going to a more of a group setting next year, which I'll admit still going to be powerful.
It's going to be A1.
Because you're still going to get me twice a month, which is kind of the same range of how my one-on-one people do.
Yeah.
They can just call me every day, though, if they want to. So
Derrick,
my one-on-one people call every day if they want. Then over time, they fade out to like twice a month. So you guys will be in that same range. Jay?
So if you're interested in the event, the December 10th event, text the word city, C-I-T-Y, as well as more info, but city is going to take you directly to the sign up page and get you in the actual queue for December the 10th. So do me a favor, because I see people are texting our CRM system right now, but they're putting in a whole bunch of stuff. It is going to enroll you in like 5 different automations. So literally just either text the word city, nothing else, or more info, nothing else.
Just the word city
don't
to 407
don't put them together.
326-0086. And if you're in YouTube, it's scrolling below. If you're on TikTok, you may be a little lost. So TikTok, come over to YouTube, or definitely text the word city to 407-326-0086. And also for TikTok, I just put in the chat where we are on YouTube, which we have about 10 minutes left. And then we're going to get you guys out of here, because I haven't ate y'all since breakfast. I'm starving and got a little bit of a headache.
Yeah.
But we always love to be consistent, so I wouldn't miss this for nothing tonight.
So Terrence, let's talk about that offline. Terrence says, Derrick Shea, have you ever heard of FAR certification? Florida Association of Recovery Residents.
Correct. Holly has, I think.
Holly has it. It's a different process. And it looks a lot different. So
now,
Terrence,
personally, I don't want it, but Terrence, we can talk about that, because Terrence is actually one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
He can call me tomorrow.
That's exactly what Holly has.
So Yeah.
So one of our, and I'll just give you a quick synopsis right here, Terrence, in regards to that. So one of our old ILF family members, that was her primary goal, was to go into the recovery housing model. But check this, because she has that, she's actually got the most beds in Orlando for recovery, and she does now have the FAR certification, but she cannot house ILF residents. They have to strictly be recovery.
Yeah, only
So
she can't mix
she can't commingle, she can't do any of that. So, and it's a process, right? It's similar to the group home process, a little bit less, a little bit less than that, but it still is a process, and you cannot commingle populations. So you have to be able to, you got to provide services such as Alcoholics Anonymous, NAA, Narcotics Anonymous, stuff like that has to be embedded in your program, and you have to be the one that renders those services, or have someone, come in and do it. But it's tied to the whole thing. So we'll talk about that on your next coaching with Derrick, and we'll walk down that street. But that's a whole different story for a whole nother day. And your liability insurance will look different on that too. It won't look like how ours looks now.
And just like I can take the same kind of population just from a regular hospital and still mix them with my other guys, this program won't allow you to do that. So that's what Shay is saying. And she completely got out of it, because that's actually kind of her background too. She's a nurse.
Exactly.
And she worked in the substance abuse unit. So she fell in love with that
That's
particular
always been her thing.
population.
Yeah. Yep. So last thing I want to talk about in regards to lawsuits. We always talk about, know those that you labor among. Another lawsuit that we encountered was bad business partnerships.
Yeah.
Right. Business partner comes on board. They want to be a part of this business. They want to have the fruits. They want to enjoy the fruits of the labor, but don't want to labor.
Yeah.
Right. And then, once things go south and they separate, they start. When I came on board, they saw that we were adding houses like it weren't nobody's business. And then they wanted a piece of the pie. Thank God for Derrick. Make sure that thank God for Derrick's ability to listen and not add people to the to the documentation. So this was a partner by, a shake hand situation, but nothing on paper. So that was beneficial too.
Which was also kind of sort of a mistake too. Because if you start talking about like duties and responsibilities, and I'll think of that other word in a minute in terms of what that was it, partnership agreement. Yeah. And that stuff's not in place, right? Guys, things can go bad.
Things are wide open. Yeah.
It's not if they go bad, it's when. So let me summarize this, what Shay just said. Pick the right partner. So if you're married, your spouse is your partner. Right? If you're single, then you do you, right? Friend, family member. Sure, yeah. Now, my advice, because I was stung the wrong way, and it still hurts, but it hurt for a while because of that lawsuit. He was a part of one of them too, because jealousy comes in it. Like Shay said, we started together. I'm doing all the work. You want to go to the club every weekend. You want to talk to girls all day on the phone. But when checks start rolling in, when problems happen, when checks come in, you're like this. When problems happen, I can't find you. And now, because I've told you, hey, this is over, now you want to sue me. Yeah. So, guys, choose the right partner. Pray and ask God who you should do this with. But I'll admit, as a single person, even as a married couple, like if your husband say, well, babe, like this your idea. Like I'll bag you, but do you? I'm gonna say, do this by yourself. Yeah. And then when you get up and running, we'll hire help. We'll bring in people. But don't start it with nobody. You don't want people to take the credit for what God has put on your heart. A lot of times you guys are good people and God spoke to you about something. Let me tell you a secret. That wasn't a conference call. It was a cold kiss for you.
I love it. That wasn't a conference call.
Yeah, you like that?
I like that.
God was only talking to you. That wasn't meant. A conference call means everybody can hear. It's for everybody. The devil is a liar.
Yeah.
This was a one-way call. We did three-way nobody. God spoke to you. So when you go tell your cousin and she tell me, yeah, girl, but then now you can't find her when it's time to get clients, furnish the house, talk to social workers, Clean up sometime.
Do social media posts. Like
Two of
it's a
y'all
whole,
put in the chat like that makes sense, bro. Thank you for
yeah.
telling me all the dumb stuff you did.
Miss Lady 3094 said 100 and put heart.
100%.
Yeah, so I want us to just circle back on that. And the reason why you want to make sure that you're positioning yourself accordingly is, one, it's not comfortable to have someone serve you. Two, it's not comfortable, especially if you're new in business and really don't have the capital, the financial capital, or the funding to cover yourself in the event of litigation. Right? That's a whole nother situation and a whole nother pot of money. And you want to make sure that you are covered as entrepreneurs, as business owners. You want to make sure that you have attorneys. You want to make sure that you have accountants. You want to make sure that you have a tax strategist. You want to make sure that you have all of these people in place. So that way, when you do see, obstacles or any type of adversity, you can, gather information. You have conversations with them to help you navigate that space. So just be mindful of this. A lot of people start businesses as solopreneurs. It was a hobby that turned into a business and then grew like wildfire.
Yo,
If you know that you're in it and you're going to make anything more than $499.99, you're already a business. $500, that's considered business gain, right? Especially if you're doing this with an entity, even if you're a sole proprietor. So you want to make sure that you have the necessary people surrounding you to help you walk through obstacles, because business can be great, but it is still business. And if you've never run a business before, make sure you are pouring into yourself, make sure you are educating yourself, and make sure you are surrounding yourself with the right influences when it comes to helping you steward the business that God has given you to steward. So, again, in regards to our lawsuits, what did we learn from these lawsuits? Partnership, accountability partners,
paperwork,
having things in place, right? Knowing the right
legal
thing.
counsel.
Exactly. Knowing the right thing about insurance, knowing how open or how risky the entity that you're going into is. These are not to scare you, but to prepare you for the whens, not even the what ifs, the whens. And that's what I tell people all the time. A lot of times I sit with a lot of my clients, Derrick, and they're afraid because they have to invest in the business that is going to become a huge or investment return for them. And that's why I tell people, ultimately, if you are not willing to put money into a business through your own finances and accounts, who else is going to want to be the one to help you financially with that business? You have to be your first, biggest, and best capital investor. That's you. So be mindful of that and know that if you want it, you're going to have to make the sacrifices to do it and get through the process, and always be learning. Always be learning, right? We were never big on accounting, even though I know it. I took it in school, my master's program.
I fought it in the beginning, actually. Rookie me.
So even now, like some days our accountant calls and I'm ready to pull my hair out. But at the same time, be knowledgeable about these things. Make sure you have the right people that aren't just doing the work, but they're also educating you along the way. Our accountant is very informative. She educates. We had a conversation with her just on Sunday. After church, we were like, we need to make a decision. We need your help. Got to get some information from you, blah, 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 blah. And it worked out to where she educated us in the process. So make sure that you are educating yourself. And with that said, I want to give one shameless plug, y'all.
And there's a question I want to knock out real quick too.
All right.
Alicia asks, is the general liability policy different from your homeowner's policy? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, because the general liability policy is going to cover you and your business.
Absolutely.
Separate from your house. So great question.
And I want to say this too. So Alicia, let's say you own a property. You've been purchasing property. It's an investment property. It's in your name. Or let's go for a business name, right? We're going to err on the side of caution and pray that you as an investor, I'm not saying you are, but as investors, we purchase properties under LLCs or under a trust. You are not going to start your ILF in the same business name as the name of the property, the LLC or the entity that the property is in. Don't do it. Start a completely different business. Okay? Just I promise you, you'll thank me later. Start a different entity. Okay? So don't have Derrick Foundation that owns 50 houses, and then the Derrick Foundation starts an independent living facility and everything's happening through the Derrick Foundation. You've just increased how much liability insurance that you're going to really need, because you're going to have to account for all of the assets already being held under that entity, on top of this wide open liability of a housing program. So you want to be mindful of that.
Yep. Another question came in, says, and I actually go deep on this question in the masterclass. So I'll be brief here, but please come to the ILF masterclass on December the 10th.
Actually, wait, I would go into this on the masterclass, because this is going to stem a lot of questions. And I prefer us not do it on YouTube.
So make sure you come to December the 10th. Text the word city, CITY, and this class is free, y'all.
Right. So
and this is actually a multi-$1,000 class.
Yeah.
Because it's the same information I give my one-on-one people. And I'm only doing this for the ILF Academy. So if you're not a part of it, go join it. It's also free, right? There's over probably now 14,000 people in that group.
Yeah.
And we're getting about 1,000 people a month. Last month alone, 1,028 people joined that group. And that's now monthly now. So we're going to act, and I'll talk about this more that night, but we're going to start pouring a lot more into that group. I do a lot of one-on-one coaching. I got some other specialty groups, but the ILF Academy is growing like a wildfire. So I'm actually getting ready to hire a staff member and put them completely over it. And again, we're going to just pour into you guys more. So again, prime example, this whole class is for the ILF Academy. So if you're not a part of it, go join it. It's called the ILF Academy, and it's completely free. This class is free, and I'm a coach for hours. And your job is to not leave unless all your questions are answered.
Correct.
Okay, Shay, back on you.
The thing I want to answer. So we'll also be talking about the insurance policies and what that looks like. How to obtain them. A lot of people don't realize that language is a locator. If you go in saying that you have a housing program, you're going to be charged
not what we
out
say.
The yin yang for liability insurance, and you end up with the wrong policy type. We do share our liability insurance provider with our one-on-one consulting clients. Also, again, if she's available, she may pop in to the master class. She's always available. She may.
Okay, cool.
She may.
Let's actually try to line that up too.
Yeah, she may pop in. So I know her birthday was the other day. So yeah, she may pop in. So just know that she's very.
And Miss Marva joined the ILF Academy. It's a Facebook group and it's free. So I see people asking. It's called the ILF Academy.
And then they can also text CITY, CITY, to 407-326-0086.
Now that's for the master class.
Yeah,
but if you want to join the academy, I got a prompt for that. Text the word join. And y'all see all these words we keep saying, text this and text that. What's cool about our one-on-one coaching and the DIY, we give y'all this same system.
Yeah, you get the whole system.
So let me break that down. We have a system called Digital Flow Solutions. So can you imagine telling social workers, text the word bed to get our availability and to talk to us about how we can work together to house the homeless and the displaced? We give y'all that. So in fact, I want everybody to do it. Text the word join right now, everybody, to 407-326-0086. I want you guys to see what happens and how fast. And if you click on that link, it's going to take you to our ILF Academy. You don't have to find it.
Right. Yeah.
But now change the mindset. What if you own a restaurant, a daycare, some of y'all do home health care, your ILF, your group home. Can you imagine telling people on social media and everywhere, text the word bed, text the word fried chicken, text the word donut, whatever your business is, text the word mechanic.
But don't y'all do that to my number, because you ain't gonna get nothing.
Right. But imagine your business, right? Take that, and a bunch of y'all right now are texting because I can see it.
Yeah.
Miss Latoya, see how fast you got that text that came right back to you? And now you just did more info. Look how fast you get that. We give y'all this system. So with our coaching, I don't just coach you. It's a system.
Correct.
A virtual assistant comes with it because we own the staffing agency in the Philippines. The software system comes with it because we own that. Guys, one more time. When you find Shay and I, you found coaches, consultants, and a family and a system.
A framework.
Most people that you hear teaching this, they copying us. They don't have the system or the experience. Ask anybody that you learning this from. Have you ever been sued? What did you do when you? Nope. Have you ever made the Channel 8 news the wrong way?
Yep.
Ask them all of this, because to me, that's what qualifies a great coach. Somebody that have been through it all. Or did you happen to be a social worker any time in your life? What adversary type stuff have you gone through to be what you are today? Ask them that stuff.
Have you
Thank you, because I messed that word up. Ask them that stuff and then compare it to what we've been through. I can show you my lawsuit. I can show you the Channel 8 news reel that's on us years ago. But not because I was being crummy like that lady that was doing it in Rats and Roaches. Ignorant, not knowledgeable about what this was. So I was making mistakes. The devil is a liar that y'all will, because y'all know me now. 10 of y'all put in the chat, big brother. If I'm your new big brother and it shares your new big sister, can 10 of y'all put in the chat, big brother? Because this is where you're going to learn it from now. Because watch this. And not because we so great. It's because we put God first. Our experience is next. And the softwares and systems that we use, the verbiage and language that we use, and the virtual assistants that can run this whole business while you at your 9-to-5 job trying to feed your family.
Exactly.
Some of y'all most of y'all that find us got full-time jobs. Why you think we give you the system to automate this whole business? It's called digitalflowsolutions.net. Notice everything with us is in-house. You don't come get coaching from me and get somebody else to build your website. We do all of that. I'm telling you, man, y'all just found y'all new big brother, whether you like it or not. And for y'all that won't invest in yourself, God bless you, but still join me 7 days a week and watch God and I change your life. Okay? Shay, back on you and get me out of here, because I gotta go eat.
I want to do something real quick. So so the other thing I wanted to share, Derrick, because you
the big bros coming through. Love it. I love it.
So for those of you, again, we want to share with you our new channel, Forston's Unfiltered, Married to the Mission. So you can look up Married to the Mission here on YouTube, and you'll see that it's a personal journey with Derrick and I, to see what it's like to do business, to do life together, to see certain things. Like we just came from an amazing trip. I was able to go home and spend some time with my family.
Where's home?
So Bermuda's home for me.
Good stuff.
So we just came back from Bermuda not too long ago. I just want to again show you what happens, how we not only use our trips for downtime, but how we utilize that time to kind of get back in the zone, right? For business and business purposes. The other thing I wanted to invite you all to watch is I had the honor and privilege, Derrick knows, of being interviewed or sharing on the stage on a podcast called Black Girls Speak Up. And it's very motivational, it's very informative, and it's about habits, things that we have to do or things that we need to take a look at when we're looking at shifting our lives for the better or making some significant changes. And with that being like business, marriage, like whatever it is that you're getting ready to step into, this will be an amazing podcast for you to watch. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat so that you all can go ahead and check out that podcast. It's here on YouTube as well. So go ahead, take some time, check it out. Let us know how you enjoy it. But lastly, Derrick, I want to talk about my social media post. Our social media post is going to be on my page, though. It'll be on my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The 29 days to the new biz year. So we're going to be talking about the things that we are implementing from now on to the new year to help us position ourselves for what is next to come. How do you pick up the pieces when things didn't go well with certain entities, right? We've got several different businesses. How do we pick up the pieces, or what do we decide that it's time to to get rid of that business or say, hey, we're not going to do this anymore? What do those conversations look like? How are you making those decisions? How are you positioning yourself for the upcoming business year? And I want you all to join me on that journey. So you can follow me on TikTok, because that's where the primary information will be done at. And then it will be, of course, shared to other platforms. But it's Shanye Shea at TikTok, at Shanye Shea on TikTok. So I'm putting that in here. So this is how you spell my name. And I'm gonna put on TikTok. And again, Derrick, I'm done. I know you need to eat, so I think I've
Guys,
done
I
all
am
of my
starving.
elevator speech.
I know it's a
Usually
little
that's
late,
me,
but I am starving.
and
Usually
usually I'm
Shay.
the hungry one.
But don't forget, guys, follow us at Forston Consultants if you're not already subscribed here. But also be my friend at Derrick Forston. I want to see a lot of you guys friend request me tonight. But not just to be my friend, right? That's not super important to me. But also I want you to go there and be nosy. Go and see what we're doing. TikTok, my phone has got 1% left. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. It's about to die. But if you're still on YouTube, subscribe to us at Forston Consultants, and everywhere Forston Consultants, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Lemonade, YouTube. But be my friend at Derrick Forston on Facebook. And that way you guys can see all of the information that we're posting about events, booking info, speaking engagements, podcasts, and just general information on what this is. Because guys, remember, I promised God many years ago, I said, God, if you let me get into this and it changed my life, I said, God, I'll go all over the world sharing this and I'll never take any credit. And that's what I'm doing now, guys. So watch me do it. Guys, without God, I'm a nobody. But with God, me and you can change our city when it comes to affordable housing. And I want to be your coach to do it. So consider our DIY or the one-on-one coaching so that we can get you started. Remember, you got to invest in yourself. Sometimes your time, right? Sometimes it's monetarily. But if you truly feel called to this, it's almost an insult to you and God if you don't take the time to invest in yourself. Make sense, everybody? Some of y'all gonna be able to hit this one time and come December 10th and take off running. Most of y'all gonna need the hand holding. So I'll see you guys December the 10th. And remember, don't buy nothing from me until you do all your research. Watch our webinar.
Absolutely.
Have that discovery call from my team, which is also free. And remember, you can't beat me no kind of way. So join me 7 days a week, complimentary. Guys, I got complimentary content 7 days a week right here at 7 p.m. Eastern. And the only day that is different from 7 p.m. is on our Saturdays, which we go 10 a.m. So 6 days a week, we go live at 7 p.m. But on Saturday mornings, it's 10 a.m. Eastern. Let's take a quick commercial break. Let's hear from Mr. Derrick, and we'll be right back.
I hope you guys are enjoying the information. If you want more information just like this, what you're hearing now, make sure you text the phrase more info and don't put it in the chat. Text it to this phone number. Text more info. That's MOREINFO to the phone number 407-326-0086. We're going to give you our complimentary webinar, and then that leads to a complimentary call with me and my team to talk about how fast can we get you started. Let's get back to the show.
Hey everybody, my name is Jermaine. I've been with Derrick and Shay for about 4 months now. I got my first property within a month and a half or so of being under that coaching. I have a 6-bedroom house. I got all the rooms filled already. I'm charging $800 a month. You guys do the math on that. Derrick and Shay don't like to talk about the money, but me, I'm a numbers guy. But the coaching is fantastic. Like, you will not lose. You will not lose. Please make the decision. Getting this coaching, whether it's the DIY or the one-on-one coaching. If you can do it with the DIY without talking to Derrick every day, then go for it. But if you can do it and you need somebody to hold your hand and you need to call Derrick whenever you need him, then I suggest you get the one-on-one coaching. It's been the best decision of my life, man. I'm telling you. Like, get with it, and get ready to fire your boss, because it's going to happen. Thank y'all. Peace.
Hi, everyone. My name is Faith. I am the founder and owner / CEO of Credos Foundation, located in Hollywood, Florida. I started this journey just a little bit over a month ago, And when I started, I had nothing. I had no property. I had no referrals. I had no leads. All I had was a vision, and my vision was very clear. I knew that I wanted to do this ILF project, and I wanted it to be done the correct way. I knew for me, it was more than just an opportunity to make money. For me, it's a ministry for me. Giving back is a ministry for me. And so I wanted to make sure I did it the right way. The coaching that I've received from Shay and Derrick, coupled with the digital flow solution team, has been priceless. I have listened to everything they've told me to do, and I've done it exactly the way they said I should do it. If I had any questions, I would reach up, and waited until I got an answer before I proceeded. Because for me, I didn't want to make the mistakes, like Derrick would say, the mistakes that they made. And so as coaches, they're here to make sure that at least my mistakes are minimal, or at least I don't repeat the same mistakes they did. So for me, doing the coaching has been the best decision I ever made. I'm looking forward to my first property in the next 30 days. That's my goal, is to open my first property in the next 30 days. And with this coaching that I'm receiving and my VA that has been on point with my social media and handling all the back end thing, I know for a fact within the next 30 days, I will be opening my first property in South Florida. Wherever God leads, I'm going to go. Thank you, Shay and Derrick, for the opportunity to do this and to share with others. Have a blessed one, everyone.
Hey, beautiful people. My name is Tiffany, and I'm the founder and executive director for Upward and Onward Jacksonville, Inc. First, I want to congratulate you for joining the ILF Masterclass, as this is your initial step, your first step for creating impact. So I came under Forston Consultants, going on 2 years now, and I love it because their mentorship and their coaching is head on, side by side. They stay with you from the beginning. And still now, even with me having multiple ILFs, they're still providing their coaching, their skills, and their knowledge, and just their support overall. They help with forms. They help with teaching you how to communicate with those property managers for the facilities, and also those social workers, just giving you that extra push, those extra nuggets that you absolutely need to be successful in the ILF community. So I would like to say, come on over. Come over. We would love to have you. And just like my brother and sister stated, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is the place for you. You will not regret it. You will love it, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work. And also with the CRM, don't tell Derrick, but yes, I'm still working. He cringes when I say that, but I'm still working my 9 to 5, but only because of their CRM, that comes with their mentorship, has allowed me to actually still be in a space that I love in my community, doing social work. I am a social worker, with doing these things, and also being impactful with housing. So come on over. We would love to have you. Don't think about it. Do not, because you're going to think yourself out of it. But, pray on it for sure. And we'll love to see you over with the ILF family. Talk to you later.
What's going on, Dennis? When the next time you guys gonna have an event? I saw something on Facebook that you guys posted, didn't get a chance to read it all. I know I'd kind of be hit and miss, but I saw something about a class that you guys are going to be doing. What's that all about? Hey, what's going on, David? As I can see, big bro, you still remain to be a little bit of a knucklehead. Where have you been? Anyway, don't even worry about it. December the 10th, big bro, we're going to teach you guys how to start your own independent living facility. You've been dreaming of this, David. Now is your time. We're in the last quarter, and I want to see you successful. So join us via the web. There's no travel involved. It's going to be via the web. So I'm going to drop the link below. Click on it. Sign up, and we'll see you December the 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I know you're going to cover it, big bro, but what in the world is an independent living facility anyway? David, remember, an ILF is simply an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight, not a group home.
All right, let's get back to it. And nevertheless, don't y'all be like David. David is a little bit of a knucklehead, but as you see, we're patient with him and we keep pouring into him. But nevertheless, Shay want to show y'all something really quick before we go. A lot of you guys have a 9-to-5 job, but God has still called you to this. And you're trying to figure out, how do you run this business? How do you answer the phone? How do you communicate with social workers when you're at work?
Right.
And Shay and I, the last thing we want is for you to lose your job because you're trying to answer that phone at work.
Yeah.
So again, lucky for you, whether you get the DIY or the one-on-one coaching, remember, we give y'all the software system to fully automate this business or any business that you have. And we want to show you what the AI phone assistant looks and sounds like. So imagine one more time. In fact, can 5 of y'all put in the chat where you work at? Don't put like, but just like, where do you work at? Because I want to give an example. If you get a phone call, but you at your job and you're not allowed to answer the phone, under my coaching, it sounds like this. If you don't answer that phone, they're going to go to the next person.
Yeah. Because
So what happens while you at your job? And that's what I want Shay to show you guys. And we call it an AI phone assistant.
So I have it set as the outro. So you want to pray them out and then tell them to watch it. And
no, just do it and they'll come back. Oh, no?
I messed that up. I messed that up.
Oh, because you did it on the outro?
Yeah.
So I tell you what. Because I was going to come back and talk about it, but we actually going to end it on this call. So one more time, real quick. Imagine you got a job and you cannot answer your phone at work, but God has called you to this. We want to show you what Digital Flow Solutions is. It's our all-in-one platform that runs any business, especially the ILF model. So write this down, because when we go, we go. So write down digitalflowsolutions.net. 3 of y'all help me and put that in the chat. Digital Flow Solutions with the S on it .net. That'll kind of show you the website, what all it does. And remember, on the DIY or the one-on-one coaching, we gift it to you, and you only pay the monthly hosting fee. And remember, it's your website, it's this phone agent, automations, anything you can think of, this system got it. So with that being said, I love y'all like a fat kid loves cake. I'm going to pray you guys out of here, and then we'll end it with this phone call so that you guys can hear what does it sound like when an AI agent answers your phone when you're on vacation or at your job. Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown tonight. God, thank you for the ability to what you just gave Shay and I, and thank you for the ability to share it. Father God, by your mercy and your grace, bring all of this information back to their remembrance, and God, help them to never forget it. And Father God, also probably most important, help these people to move at the speed of revelation. That means tonight they heard what this was. God, help them move in it and allow no devil in hell or no hater in this city to stop it. Not a family member, not a cousin, and not a brother. Because God, if you called them to it, you will pull them through it. So Father God, in the name of Jesus, can you give these people the mind of Christ and an able body to do exactly what you've called them to do? And God, again, let no devil in hell stop it. Because God, you gave us this vision. You gave us the health to do it. And God, give us the mind of Christ to carry it out. Father God, allow these people to connect with social workers and case managers that when they open their mouth to talk about it, that is easily receptive to those people. And Father God, allow them to be the preferred vendor in their city. Yes. And one more time, God, we give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise for allowing this thing to come to pass. Because God, you gave us this, and we'll take no credit. We'll tell everybody that you're the reason of why it's successful. And God will keep you first. In fact, right now, God, we dedicate this program to you now. If you desire to have a program, tell God right now that you dedicate it to him. God, this is your program. This is not our program. But God, thank you for allowing us and these people to be good stewards over what you've given them. In fact, God, at the end of this year and all of 2026, allow us to be great stewards over what you're going to bless us with. Allow us not to squander relationships. Allow us not to squander opportunities. Opportunities that are always passed over. God, we don't want that no more for our lives. So I call it to existence the thing that you've already spoke over these people. We call things that be not as though they were. And God, one more time, we say thank you for the changing of the lives of these people through real estate, social services, and helping people. And now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. You guys be great. And if you believe that, say amen Amen. And we'll see y'all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern right here.
See ya.
Hello, this is Dobbs Digital Flow Solutions AI assistant. Don't worry, I'm not one of those boring voicemails. Talk to me like you would a friend. I'm listening and ready to help.
Can you tell me a little bit about the AI with Digital Flow Solutions?
Absolutely. With Digital Flow Solutions, you get me, Dobbs, your AI sidekick. I'm here to chat with leads, answer questions, schedule appointments, and handle follow-ups around the clock. Basically, I help turn curious clicks into booked calls without breaking a sweat. Want to see how I can be customized for your business?
Absolutely.
Great. Let's set you up with a free business assessment to see how our AI can work for you. What's your name and best email so I can book a time that works for you?
Tam.
Awesome, Tam. Could you also share your best email address so I can get you all set up?
test@test.com.
I'm sending you a link right now. You're all set, Tam. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly. Looking forward to showing you what we can do. Anything else I can help with?
Listen, you are absolutely amazing, and I want to say thank you.
Aw, shucks. You're making me blush. Thank you for the kind words, Tam. I'm here whenever you need me. Anything else on your mind?
No, that's it. You have a great and prosperous day.
Thanks, Tam. You have a fantastic and prosperous day, too.